Hey home brewers, my name is Greg and I'm your host. Today I'll be walking you through how to use your basic Party Pig kit for the very first time. Let's get started. Now I'll walk you through all the parts for your basic Party Pig kit. You have your tray, strap, gasket, attaching ring, valve restrictor, valve assembly, your bottle, and your two pressure pouches. Two optional accessories are the high flow activation pump and the bottle filling support. Now these two items do come standard with your starter kit. So if you brew 5-gallon batches, all you need is a single basic kit and a single starter kit, and that'll take care of everything you need. Okay, now we're going to take your cleaned and sterilized bottle and you're going to rack or siphon your beer into it. Now this is your fermented, uncarbonated beer we're putting in here. You're going to rack it up to this line noted here right on the outside of the bottle. I've already done this in this case. From this point, we need to add some priming sugar. We recommend about 1/4 to 1/3 cup per pig, depending on the level of carbonation that you want. Next is the pressure pouch. Since the pressure pouch has been sitting and it's been shipped around, we want to shake it up a little bit just to make sure the chemicals are properly mixed. You will notice on the shipping pouch, there's a dotted line on the bottom. So we want to make sure that the pouch is firmly seated in the top. Because when we turn this back over, we're going to cut along that dotted line and we don't want to cut the pressure pouch itself. Before we insert it, we want to sterilize the outside of the pressure pouch and the scissors, just as you would with your yeast. We just want to avoid any contamination that may occur. Cut right along the dotted line. Slowly insert it into the bottle and use the pouch to help insert it. You just don't want to touch it with your bare hand. All right. With our pouch inserted, we need to sterilize our valve components. Take the valve assembly, the restrictor, and the gasket. Make sure all surfaces are contacted by the sterilant for the amount of time that the manufacturer recommends. Another thing is to fill up the valve restrictor itself and let some of the sterilant run through it. That just ensures that all that stuff, all the surfaces have been contacted. We're going to take the valve restrictor, insert it into the valve assembly, and press firmly until it's completely seated. If this doesn't happen, your beer can come out way too quick and you're going to have a lot of foam that you don't want. Take your gasket, install it just around the edge of the valve restrictor, and it'll stay right on there. So we'll do one more final rinse with the sterilant before we put it on top of the bottle. Okay, from here we're going to install the attaching ring. The attaching ring comes in 3 pieces. We recommend leaving a single screw to help with the alignment. The solid ring goes on top and the 2 segments go just below that first lip. Rotate those 2 lower rings in place and just inspect your work and make sure everything lines up properly and start installing the screws. Now you can tighten these screws with a conventional screwdriver. Today I'll be using a cordless one. When you tighten them up, make sure you tighten them equally. We don't want one tighter than the other one because we might have a gap around that gasket and we'll have a leak. When you're finished, inspect your work to make sure there's an equal gap and that the gasket is present all the way around. From this point, it's time to activate the pouch. We're going to take your high flow activation pump and install the tubing right into this port here. When you're pumping this up, we have to press the red button down firmly during the whole time. Now this will take up to 20 to 30 pumps to get the required pressure in here to activate the pouch. As you start pumping, it may become a little bit difficult. When it does, just place it on the table and use your body weight to pump it up. As you're pumping and it gets a little bit more difficult, keep your eye on the pouch. The pouch will start to move. When that pouch moves, that means you've activated it. There's a little trigger inside there, and that pressure ruptures that and begins that chemical process to pressurize the pouch. Let it rest 20 to 30 seconds, and then remove your tubing. And now we're going to burp or purge that air that you just pumped in there out. So we just take a little bit of a rag until we get just a little tiny bit of beer coming out. Now, your pig is almost ready for conditioning. From here, we're just going to place it in the tray. Put the strap around it to make it a little bit easier to carry. Now you're ready to take your pig and store it at the same temperature that you fermented at for 2 to 3 weeks. Very typical bottle conditioning, just as if you're using glass bottles. From there, put it in the refrigerator. It's time to enjoy your beer. Thanks for watching.